G'day viewers, welcome to my video about the clutch fork repair kit that I'm manufacturing and selling for the Ford clutch fork, or any brand clutch fork that has the dimple style, simple dimple that the slave cylinder rod presses against and ultimately will fail. These clutch forks are fitted to all of your Ftrucks, the old F100s, F250, F350s, the Ford Falcons, you name it, anything with top loaders, or the NP 435 F100 gearbox, that kind of thing, all uses this type of clutch fork with this simple dimple that eventually fails. So if you're lucky and you do some inspections, as I did, you will see some cracking underneath here at the end of the dimple, giving you some hints that the slave cylinder rod is trying to punch its way through. But more often than not, as you'll read in many horror stories, it fails on people out in the middle of nowhere, after hours, miles from home, all sorts of bad scenarios. And what happens is the clutch fork, as it sticks out of the bell housing, gets actuated like this, engaging and disengaging your clutch. Thousands of cycles of the slave cylinder rod pressing against this dimple. And eventually it will just push through, and that will leave you with no clutch, obviously. So usually people end up trying to track down tow trucks, workshops, welders, and do some type of bodgy repair and weld steel in there and do whatever they can to get home. And that is really quite hard sometimes to achieve all of that, and ultimately expensive. End up back at a workshop. Tow truck fees, workshop fees, dropping the gearbox, which you have to do to replace this and put a new one in. You're looking at quite a lot of money. Problem is, a lot of dodgy repairs don't give you the confidence to make them permanent repairs. So after making a few repair kits for friends, I've decided to go in production and make a repair kit that you can fit very quickly, very easily on the side of the road, and it's a strong, confidence-inspiring repair that you'll be in no hurry to fix in a more permanent fashion and avoid all of the costs of dropping gearboxes and workshop fees, etc. So basically, as you're looking at the clutch fork in the car, about this much of the clutch fork is exposed from the bell housing, and you'll see the dimple there. This obviously doesn't usually have a hole. I've drilled this hole because that's what we're going to do as part of the repair. You'll need a cordless drill and a 6mm drill bit, but that's all you'll need. No tow trucks, no workshops, no welders, no anything, no fabricating anything. You just take my kit out of your glove box that hopefully you bought online years ago and ready for this day, and then you drill your hole and fit the kit, and in 2 minutes you'll be driving up the road again, happy as Larry. So what it consists of is, I have machined this repair piece out of high tensile, high grade steel. So it's not just ordinary old mild steel that'll just rub away or fail and crack and fall away. It's very, very strong, and you can rely on it. So you grab this plunger that's been sized for the 6mm hole, fits in there perfect, and creates a very strong platform for your rod to press against. That'll stay there by itself really, because there's a spring that mounts here and the rod pushes against here in this direction. So that's not going anywhere really. But also have a quick fit retention system. So a spring, washer, and an arclet. Alright, so that's holding it there. It can't go anywhere. Imagine how quick that would be to fit on the side of the road. Quick drill of a hole. You may not even need to drill a hole if the rod has punched through cleanly and you can get the rod out. But it is nice to drill a nice round clean hole with a 6mm drill bit and fit this kit. And literally, because you can pull the rod back and inspect what's going on, you can assess that quite quickly. To drill the hole, you've got enough room. You're just going to need to unbolt the slave cylinder. So 2 half-inch bolts, slave cylinder pulls out of the way, drill that hole, fit the kit within a couple of minutes, and then bolt your slave cylinder back, once you press your pedal a couple of times, it'll take up the tension again on the clutch fork, and you're driving away like you've got a brand new clutch fork. I'm making these because of the downturn in coronavirus has caused me to be laid off. So I'll put my address in the comment section. It's, in my opinion, it's the most important thing you can have in the glove box that'll cost you bugger all and save the day one day. Instead of trying to track down an engineering shop to make you something, or worrying about fabricating it yourself and trying to get the angles right and use the right quality of steel, it's just there, ready to use and cheap, and it'll last for a very, very, very long time. It's been on my daily driver for years, and no problems at all. I haven't bothered going to the next step. Ultimately, you could take it a little bit further by removing all of this when you get home, chop this excess rod off with a grinding disc cutting wheel, and run a small weld around the back there, and that would make it a lot more stronger and permanent. You could also run a bead around the outside of this piece as well, making it completely permanent. But you don't have to, and I've purposely on my truck just left this system in place for a long time now, just to see if it will fail, and it hasn't. It's been great, and it saved me from pulling my gearbox out and spending a fortune and taking my car off the road, and it's my daily driver. I don't really have time for that or the money. So like I said, comments will have my address. I'm making them super dirt cheap and will post anywhere, so hit me up if you want one. Keep one in your glove box, give one to friends as a gift, and be ready for when your clutch fails or someone else's does, and you've got the repair sitting there waiting to go. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.